As a 8 or 9, 10-year-old mute black girl in Arkansas, you surely didn't know all that. What did you think of black and white at the time? What did you think of white folks as a
I
youngster?
didn't think they were real. I didn't think they were real people.
Really?
I thought they were white folks.
What?
I thought they were white folks.
Well, I mean, what do you mean you didn't think they're real? You don't think they had arms and legs? And...
Oh, no, they had arms and legs, but they didn't have innards like other people. I thought if you put your hand on a white person, it would go right through.
No.
I promise you. They were white folks. We were people.
You were that distant from them? I mean,
absolutely.
Well, I mean, you live scarcely 300 yards apart in some respects.
Oh, and my grandmother owned the land most of them lived on.
Is there the slightest possibility? The white folks, myself, can truly understand the black experience?
Oh, I think to the degree that it's necessary to understand.
Well, you once said that black folks should play white folks in plays and what, because you've been studying white folks for hundreds of years.
Yes.
But that the white folks don't understand, you know.
Very seldom have had to. You see, it's like the Cockneys in Britain, in England in particular. The aristocrats and the upper class and the upper middle class controlled so much of life that the Cockney developed a way of watching that person and can imitate him to a fine degree. One has only to see the current, look at Finney or some of the current English actors who can imitate the upper class and upper middle class to a degree so finely honed that they can put it over. For blacks in this country, for centuries, the wave of a white woman's hand might reveal that she is getting ready to sell one's children. Or a frown on a white man's face could mean in a moment you're about to be flogged. So people learn to watch.
There's a poem about facing always with a grin.
Oh, when I think about myself.
Is that the story of the blacks? The face that...
Well, people had to learn to laugh when they weren't tickled and to scratch when they didn't itch.
Black folks did?
Black folks did.
Have you ever considered, this may just sound ludicrously simple, but why did white folks, where you grew up, how could they and why would they hate somebody like your grandmother? Why would they hate black people?
Because they're frightened.
Why? You didn't have guns?
I know, but people are afraid, for one thing, that basically, people are afraid to die. That is basic. I'm coming to it. Let me explain. Basically, people are afraid to die. So they clutch to something which they think will preserve their lives. So they try to guarantee happiness to themselves by shunting dirt and misery off on someone else. That's Sterling Brown. Sterling Brown's poem, The Strong Men. People feel, if I can keep them out of this building, them off this street, them out of this employment line, I'll live a little longer. They don't think it consciously, but that is fundamental. People are afraid to be pried loose from their ignorance because they know their ignorance so well, they know it better than they know their body odors. And if you say, come on, give up your ignorance, they get into that terrible position, terrifying position which Shakespeare talks about at the end of the soliloquy, Hamlet's soliloquy. They'd rather bear the ills they have than fly to others that they know not of. Thus conscience doth make cowards of us all. So they are cowardly.